What's up out there, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. I hope you guys are doing well out there on this hot Thursday. I'm doing well myself. I come across this story right here that took place in Marion County, Florida, okay? On probably the night, or you can say morning of June 1st, okay? Where you had Brianna Hardin here, down here in the right-hand corner, was pulled over, for a traffic violation by a Marion County deputy, right? Okay, so the deputy actually found drug paraphernalia and methamphetamines on this woman, okay? Now, he arrested the woman, you see, and so when he arrested her, before, he put her in handcuffs and everything, searched her down thoroughly, or so he thought, but wasn't thorough enough. Okay, turns out that Brianna Hardin here had a small caliber pistol hidden in a place where a man wouldn't be searching a woman in, as far as police departments go. He's not supposed to, and she's some sort of contortionist. Okay, she had her handcuffs behind her back. Some kind of way she got out of the handcuffs when the officer placed her in the squad car here and grabbed her small caliber pistol out of her crotch area and began firing from the back seat of the squad car at the officer. The officer's face was grazed, okay? He returned fire and she got hit a couple times, in the hip, arm, something like that. But she made it out alive. She made it, to her court session or what have you. But what I want us to do is check out a couple of videos, get more in depth about the entire situation, and then we'll get back to the commentary. Check this out.
I'm Laverne McGee in Marion County, where a deputy was shot by a woman he was arresting, and it was inside his car. FDLE is now investigating.
She was handcuffed, and she is a little bit flexible.
It was about 1 o'clock in the morning when investigators say a Marion County Sheriff's deputy was shot by Brianna Hardin. Spokesperson Valerie Strong tells us the suspect was in the deputy's vehicle when she shot him, firing a bullet that grazed his face. The deputy had stopped Hardin for a traffic violation in Summerfield, arresting her for driving with a suspended license, providing false identification to law enforcement, possession of methamphetamine, and drug paraphernalia. Miles away on South Pine Avenue in Ocala, on the way to the jail, deputies say the suspect opened fire.
Unfortunately, she did have a small caliber gun concealed in the crotch area of her pants.
Although shot, the deputy got out of the vehicle and fired back, hitting the suspect in her shoulders and hips.
Both were taken to the hospital for their injuries and have been released. All our deputies and our staff here are just very glad and extremely grateful that our deputy is fine.
In Marion County, Laverne McGee, News 6.
This afternoon, we're learning more about the moments leading up to a gunfight that wounded a Marion County deputy. Investigators told us yesterday the woman accused of shooting the deputy pulled a gun out of her pants after she was arrested. This morning, Brianna Hardin faced a judge charged with attempted murder, and court documents show us the deputy she's accused of shooting is really lucky to be alive in this situation. West 2's Tony Atkins, live at the sheriff's office. And Tony, deputies say Hardin was searched repeatedly.
Yeah, Jesse, and somehow this gun never turned up until they say she opened fire. And now a judge has her in jail, held without a bond, to make sure she doesn't try to hurt anyone else.
I was gonna say, if you were to allow me to have a bond, then I would be able to maybe make a way to where I could pay for it.
22-year-old Brianna Hardin made her first appearance in court on Tuesday after the Marion County Sheriff's Office says she managed to shoot a deputy while she was under arrest. She's now being held with no bond.
The flight risk, being from Bay County, it would not be appropriate to set a bond for you this morning.
The Marion County Sheriff's Office says she gave a fake name during a traffic stop. They also say she had drugs on her and her license was suspended.
He then proceeded to search all her pockets where he found the methamphetamine, the drug paraphernalia, and so forth. So he handcuffed her, put her in the back of his car.
As she was being taken, deputies say she was seen on camera fidgeting in the back seat, and she ultimately slipped her left hand out of the cuffs and at one point covers the backseat camera.
He did recognize this, pulled her back out of the vehicle, retightened her cuffs behind her back, searched the inside of his vehicle, placed her back inside his vehicle, and when they started for the jail, she was flexible enough to be able to maneuver her hands from behind her back to lift him up and grab hold of the gun and point it at him and pull the trigger.
The deputy grazed on the side of his face, fired back.
If the deputy had his head turned in any other position, it could have hit him directly into his side of his head.
So, how was the gun missed? Police records show Hardin had the gun tucked inside shorts she was wearing under her pants.
The reality of it is there's not always a female deputy available for searches, and he did do a pat down of her. He checked her waistband, checked all of her pockets.
Public Information Officer Valerie Strong says deputies are trained to do thorough pat downs and says a number of unique factors led to this, including her baggy clothes, small frame, and flexibility.
It's unique. It's not something that an average citizen can move and do. And it was just by the grace of God that the officer just received the grace one.
Now, the sheriff's office here, they say that the body camera video from that shooting will be made available after the Florida Department of Law Enforcement completes its investigation. But coming up at 6 o'clock, we're going to take a look at the type of revolver deputies say Hardin used when she fired those shots. I'm covering Marion County live in Ocala. Tony Atkins, West 2 News.
Amazing.
You better know that was amazing. I think Rihanna Harding is in the wrong profession. Wasted talent. Circuses are looking for contortionists and escape artists and magicians. You should probably clean your life up and leave them damn methamphetamines and all that stuff alone, and go and look into that. You know what I'm saying? You escaped handcuffs, you know what I mean? And you pulled out, a small caliber handgun, allegedly in your crotch area, and look what you did. You see what I mean? And hey, you lived to tell about it. You lived to stand before a judge. You know what I mean? That's amazing in itself. You see, now obviously the officer did not search this woman as thoroughly enough as he thought he did. You know what I mean? And what he should have did, seeing as how, he couldn't search her like that, maybe he should have called a radio for a female officer to do it, because, it's not kosher for a male officer, stick his hands all down in areas like that where women, although they have done it, I've seen it done, you know what I mean, to women, male officers. But in this case right here, look, she showed him a magic trick act that he will never forget. He will be basically traumatized the rest of his life. Just imagine that. You know what I'm saying? He think she's all secure sitting in the back seat. You know what I'm saying? And this woman right here, some kind of way maneuver herself, contortionist, you know what I mean, around where she can get her hands in front of her, get down in her crotch area, and boom, 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 just like that, out of nowhere. I know that scared him. He's probably full of it when they caught a hold of him. When they got him down there, they probably had to change his drawers. I'm sure of that. That's just what it is. But yeah, it is amazing. Like I said, that she lived to stand before a judge. And of course, the judge did not grant her a bail. Rightfully so, you know what I mean? But more than likely, they probably give her a slap on the wrist, you know what I'm saying? And get her some help and get all them sores and ants that look like ants crawling on her face, you know what I mean? Off her face, and get her some help. Who knows? What say you people? Tell me what you think about this particular story right here. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on it. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you can. People, please remember to live your life as though we're being watched, simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.